Here's the truth. Most women don't admit out loud isolation feeds fear. When you try to do it all on your own, fear gets louder, self doubt gets stronger, and progress will slow down. Whatever progress you have going on, it will slow down. But when you walk in community, what happens is your courage multiplies. Today, I want to show you why connection is the secret ingredient to fearless living. Because I used to believe I had to figure everything out on my own. And that's what I did for years. I thought asking for help made me look weak. So I pushed through quietly, carrying the weight by myself. I'm here to tell you, you do not have to carry the weight by yourself. But behind the smile, I was tired, I was overwhelmed, and honestly discouraged. And fear had a louder voice because I had no one speaking truth back to me. But guess what? Then I learned something very powerful. We were never meant to do life or leadership alone. And here's a myth that I want to burst today. Strong women don't need support. That is not true. The truth is, let me tell you the truth. Strong women seek support. They know the power of connection. They know the power of encouragement, and they know the power of accountability. Because isolation is the enemy to our growth. Because if we stay isolated and not being around anybody, how are we going to grow? Think about that for a few minutes. So what I started doing was embracing the confidence and community principle. And I want to leave you today with 3 tips that make connection a confidence multiplier. So if you don't mind, you take out a sheet of paper or get your notebook or your journal or what have you, and just take these notes with these 3 tips that I want to leave you. The first tip, you need to find your circle. You need to surround yourself with women who will clap for you, women who will challenge you and call out your greatness. Because I tell you all the time that you have greatness inside of you that the world needs. Tip number 2, practice vulnerability. And why do I say that? Because it is great to be able to share your struggles, not your wins, because vulnerability builds trust and real connection. Now, what I want you to know, though, you got to be in the right community because you can't share your vulnerabilities with everybody. You need to know that whoever you're sharing your vulnerabilities with is that you can really trust those people, not to carry your struggles or discuss your struggles out with other people. So you have to be very, very, very careful about whatever community you connect yourself with. And tip number 3, give and receive. Don't just show up to take, show up to pour into others. Because some people just want you to keep pouring in them and pouring in them. It's a two-way street. Everybody needs to be poured into. So if you are in a place where you see people always, one person always getting poured in and they're never pouring into anyone else, you need to really check that. Because generosity and community is what will create a cycle of strength. And that's not just for one person. That's the strength for everybody that's in that particular community. And here's a question that I want to ask you. Who's in your corner? And if you don't have a circle of community, a group of women that you can entrust with your struggles or your wins or what have you, what is one step you can take this week? One step to find that one community that you can attach yourself to, join, so that you will have encouraging words coming your way all the time. Because I'm in various communities, but the communities I'm in are for various reasons. And each of those communities, they are about building you up, encouraging you, celebrating your wins, uh, understanding when you're going through challenges, there to pray for you and to just not just always want to hear what they have to say, but everybody's voices matter in the community. And so what happened is, and I want to just show you this before I go on any further. So listen to this just for a few moments. Isolation feeds fear, but connection multiplies connection. So stop trying to carry everything alone and realize that real strength comes from support. When you find your circle, practice vulnerability and give as much as you receive. Your confidence grows and your fear will shrink. So here's the question: who's in your circle? If you don't have a circle, now's the time to find one. Join us in the Stepping Out Brave Circle for real support, or step into a legacy better project. Your words. So think about it. What's one step you can take this week to find that one community that you want to be a part of? Because guess what? And eventually, when joining the different communities I'm a part of, my whole perspective, guys, I'm telling you, it shifted. The more I leaned into the connection, the stronger I became. And then one of my clients that I have in this Stepping Out Brave Circle, when she first came in, she was feeling stuck and invisible. And she joined us. And within weeks, she was no longer silent. She had a lot to say. She started sharing her ideas. She found an accountability partner right in our group, partners. And soon after, she launched her own little community, a little prayer group. And she launched her business that she had been sitting on for years, just by being in this community with us. Her breakthrough wasn't just in strategy, it was in support, because we supported her. She realized that then she wasn't alone. And that gave her the courage to act, because you have to put action to whatever it is that you are dealing with. When you feel like you are doing things alone, you have to act on it by making sure you're connecting with other people. And like I said, you got to be careful who you connect with, because everybody is not the right community, and you have to know that. You have to discern that, because some people will want to just know your business so they can tell it. So everybody is not trustworthy. So you just have to find a trustworthy community that you can be in. That's not going to have your business all over the street. So here's your challenge. Think about your circle today. Are you walking alone, or do you have people lifting you higher? That's what you need to ask yourself. Or are you in a circle and you still feel like you're walking alone? Then you know you need to detach yourself from that and find one that you're going to be a part of, where everybody is sharing together and building each other together. If you're ready to experience the power of connection, I want to invite you into the Stepping Out Brave Circle. What I can tell you is that it is a safe, supportive community where women are growing together. They're taking bold steps that they weren't taking at first, and they're celebrating each other's wins. And if you're ready to leave a legacy beyond yourself, you can step into our Legacy Letter project. That's coming up. That book will come out next year, but that's coming up now. We're getting ready to start writing our volume 2 of our Legacy Letter. Listen, it's where your story, your wisdom, and your voice will connect with generations to come. So think about that as well. There are several options that you have. But what I want you to really remember is fear thrives on isolation. So if you're keeping yourself uh, alone and not really dealing with people or sharing your dreams and your desires and things that you want to do, you haven't found anyone to be able to discuss that with. Fear thrives on you being isolated, being by yourself, thinking that you can do it all by yourself. But what happens, courage multiplies in connection. So when you encourage, when you are in connection with other people, you get more encouraged. You begin to walk boldly. You begin to step out of your comfort zone because you don't feel alone, because you have people that are encouraging you to be the best version of yourself. Celebrating the smallest wins. They don't have to be big wins. We celebrate the smallest wins. It doesn't matter. But if you don't have a community, who's there to support you? Who's there to celebrate your wins? Because you're trying to do it all by yourself. Because isolation is what will feed your fears. But connection, like I said, multiplies to bring about the courage that you might not be walking in at this time. So stop trying to carry everything alone and begin to realize that real strength comes from support. Because when you find your circle, you'll be able to practice vulnerability and give as much as you receive, because your confidence grows and your fears will begin to start shrinking away. So who's in your corner? What are you going to do this week? What is one step you're going to do to grow closer to being connected with a community of like-minded individuals that are going to be there to encourage you and speak over your life and be able to build you up when you feel weak? Because, like I said, fear thrives in isolation. But courage grows when you're in community. So I'm here to tell you it's time to say yes to connection. It's time to say yes to it. Stop being afraid. You have what it takes to be in a community of like-minded women that will be right there to help you. Okay? So just think about that. And I'm going to tell you, it's so funny because fear grows louder and louder when you separate yourself from other people. And then you start becoming complacent. You start procrastinating on dreams and things that you have decided that you want to do. But because you're isolated and you're not talking to anybody, you'll procrastinate. You'll put it on the back burner. Well, I'll do it next week, or I'll do it this week, and never go back to it and do it again. But if you're in community, you got accountability partners that are gonna ask you about what that goal was that you discussed with them. Where are you at with that? But if you isolate yourself, you have nobody to ask you anything, which will cause you to say, well, I don't need to do it. So just think about that, because you have what it takes to make it. And like I said, our legacy letter is coming up. These are several books that I have either been the visionary author, or I was a collaborator with another visionary author, or they were books that only my name is in. But the legacy letter is a great opportunity for you to get your writing out there for the world to see, to be able to connect with the next generation. Because guess what? You have the wisdom. They need to hear your voice. They need to know the experiences that you have gone through, to let them know that whatever they're going through, they can make it, because we made it. Look at us. We've had struggles. We've had setbacks. We've had disappointments. We've been stabbed in our backs. But look, it didn't stop nothing. We're still here working it. So just reach out. You can go to my website. Let me pull my website up here, because each week I tell you can go to my website, www.steppingoutwithpurpose. Sign up for a free 15 or 30-minute consultation. And every week I come out here, I tell you, go to that YouTube channel and subscribe to that YouTube channel, and go and share like, and subscribe. Have your friends to subscribe. And listen, that's all I came out here to talk to you about. But I'm about to sign out. And I will be talking to you a little bit later. So just know you have resources out there. It's up to you to tap into the resources that are there. I'll be talking to you again next week. Talk Time Valor signing out. Talk to you later.